Number 53 is Cry Freedom. 52 is Minarets. And 51 is You Might Die Trying, which I think is the best live song off of Stand Up. Kind of had a disco dance feel to it on the album, but live has a great solo in the middle by Tim. There's great work by the horns, and it's just a great live song. So that rounds out the bottom 50, and now we move on to the top 50. 50 is the song that Jane likes, which is a song that is one of the first ones Dave Matthews wrote and performed. It's actually on an album that he recorded with Mark Roebuck before the formation of DMB. Most of the other songs on that album are songs by Mark, although I think they cover U2 song. There's a tie at 48 between two great rare songs, number 36, which has turned into the song Every Day These Days, and Spoon. 47 is Shotgun, which debuted back in 2006 and has been pretty rare ever since, but a lot of fans love it, especially some of those earlier versions. What You Are is 46, Christmas Song is 45, and Grace Is Gone is 44. So Damn Lucky, which is another song from Dave's solo album, it comes in at 43. It's one of the few songs from Dave's solo album that DMB plays live. They've added a nice jam onto the end of it in the past couple of years. 42 is The Idea of You. That was a song from the 2006 tour that the band still plays occasionally, but it's not on any studio albums. There's a tie for number 40, and coincidentally, one of those songs tied for number 40 is number 40. It's a song that the band hasn't played in full very much at all, but one of the few times they did back in 1995 during an acoustic show at Yoshi's in California. It's probably one of the most popular versions of any DMB song that's out there among the hardcore fans, so that accounts for its high standing in our poll. The other song tied for number 40 is Stay or Leave, another Dave solo song from Some Devil. Number 39 is JTR. 38 is Lying in the Hands of God, which is from Big Whiskey, and has some great sax work by Jeff Coffin recently in concert. There's a tie for number 36. We already mentioned the song number 36, so that's not one of them, but they are Break Free and You and Me. I'm surprised both of these songs are so high on the list. You and Me got a lot of radio play, and the band did a pretty good performance of it at the Grammys, but a lot of people say the lyrics are cheesy, and the same thing with Break Free, which was only played in 2006, I believe, and the band pretty much gave up on. So kind of surprising to see those two up there, but apparently there's a large segment of the crowd that does like them. Moving on to the lower 30s, number 35 is Every Day, which evolved from number 36, as I mentioned before. Number 34 on the list is the song number 27, which was also a track on the bonus album for Big Whiskey. The band started playing that a couple of years ago in concert, and then finally recorded it in the studio for that. One of the things I want to mention here, I put an asterisk next to the name of the song, is number 27, when you voted on our ballot, was the first song that showed up on the list. And I was kind of surprised that it got this high on the rankings, so I'm not 100% sure if everybody who voted for number 27 meant to, or if they just accidentally skipped a spot on the ballot and left it there. So I'll address that in next year's poll, but just wanted to say take number 27's rankings this year with a grain of salt. Number 33 on the list is So Much to Say. 32 is recently. 31 is Cornbread. I'm surprised that's so high up on the list too. It's a nice energetic song in concert, but really nothing special, has kind of throwaway lyrics. The song that has the opposite of throwaway lyrics is number 30, Big Eyed Fish, which was another Lily White Sessions song, another kind of dark, depressing Dave song, but one that's still catchy and gets a lot of the fans excited. Now we move into the 20s. Number 29 is I'll Back You Up. 28 is One Sweet World, and that has the instrumental intro, which we were playing at the beginning of this broadcast for those of you who are tuned in live. That version was from the Live in New York album, which just came out from the Citi Field concerts last summer. 27 is my personal favorite song, Granny. 26 is Typical Situation, a classic from Under the Table and Dreaming. 25 is Rapunzel, which has turned into one of the band's best jams. That's from Before These Crowded Streets. And number 24 is the song that put DMB on the map, got them regular play on the radio and on MTV, and that, of course, is What Would You Say? A lot of people know the story behind it by now, but What Would You Say was not supposed to be the band's first single. The band had recorded Granny, which we just mentioned at the number 27 song. They had recorded Granny for Under the Table and Dreaming, and the plan, at least from Dave Matthews' perspective, was to release Granny as the first hit, or the first single, and hope it would become a hit. But I guess he lost that battle, and What Would You Say was released instead, and Granny didn't even end up making the album. So there's a recorded studio version of Granny somewhere locked up in a vault, and hopefully one day we'll hear it. 23 is You Never Know, which, along with Where Are You Going, is one of the two songs that wasn't on the Lily White Sessions that the band did end up recording for Busted Stuff, which for the most part was a redo of the Lily White Sessions. Number 22 is Satellite. 21 is another great song from Under the Table and Dreaming, The Best of What's Around. 20 is The Dreaming Tree, and 19 is The Last Stop. Those two are considered two of the better songs on what a lot of fans think is DMB's best album, Before These Crowded Streets. Both songs weren't played for a while and have come back in recent years, which has made a lot of fans excited. And number 18 is Say Goodbye. Further on into the teens, number 17 is Lie in Our Graves. There's a tie at number 15 between Don't Drink the Water and Halloween. And number 14 is Jimmy Thing. And the last couple before we get to the top 10. Number 13 is Pig. 12 is Tripping Billies. And 11 is Seek Up. I'm kind of surprised that Tripping Billies and Seek Up didn't make the top 10. Tripping Billies is probably one of the band's more popular songs. They've used it as a set closer and an encore closer a ton. Seek Up is a great opener and one of the band's longest jam songs. A lot of people love the lyrics of both songs as well, so they're really good, but they just made the cut this year. Or they just missed the cut this year. Before we get to the top 10 overall, we did end up counting the votes by each category, so I just kind of wanted to give people a glimpse at what were the top 10 in each category that people voted on. Again, the categories were personal favorites, classics, and best songs. Personal favorites is kind of self-explanatory. Classics, we asked people to consider what they think DMB will most be remembered for, and what songs really get the crowd going the most at shows. And best songs was just looking at the overall quality of the music and the lyrics.